You're supposed to start this one.
All right. I know, but I'm missing how we're going to start it. Because if I'm going to start it, maybe you should.
Start it right now. We're keeping this one.
All right.
Welcome to Kitchen Talk, guys. Here we go. All right, let's get it.
I don't know where I want to go with this. I know. All right. So I have a lot of clients with really big goals, really big goals, lose 100 pounds, lose 150 pounds. And obviously that's not something that you can do in a month or 2 months or 3 months.
Thank you, Amazon.
So I think one of the biggest things I try to explain to people is okay, there's a big goal, right? And then you should have these small, goals in between. And then what that's called is a macro and a micro. So you have a macro, which is your really big goal, I want to lose 100 pounds. Right. But to take on a goal like that can be very challenging and very daunting. And the task ahead of you, is a very, very big task.
Which is why a lot of people fail.
Correct. Because they're I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And then they go into it in month 1, they lose 6 or 8. And they're fuck, I got 90 fucking pounds. It's going to take me forever, yeah. So the best way I always tell them is to make a micro cycle, which is smaller goals in between, reachable things, things that you can look forward to. This month, I want to lose 10 pounds. It's more realistic of a goal, or maybe 12 pounds. And you target that goal, and you crush that goal, and you build confidence. I think the biggest thing in any goal is once you build confidence and you build consistency, then you start to see that the results, and then a lot of times people get addicted to results. For sure. One of the most addicting things that I've seen, is people getting addicted to those results all the time. You see somebody who, will start a program and they'll lose 15 pounds and they're really hype about losing 15 pounds, and then they turn into that I want to be a competitor now, or I want to do this, or I want it just turns up at that other level once they see those results.
Well, when you get to a level, there's, naturally you want to get to the next level. Correct. So as you get into it and you start really reaping the benefits of everything that you're doing, and you see how things work, you start to realize you have potential. And then as you take that potential, you realize there's another level. And I feel like that's how that starts to incrementally scale.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I think for anybody who's out there who has any kind of goal, whether it's weight loss, even people who want to build muscle, building muscle is not an easy task either. At the rate for women and men, a quarter pound to one pound a month of muscle is very difficult to put on. So if you want to put on 10, 15 pounds of lean muscle, it's going to take time. So, those small goals are important, and just not looking at that overall picture. But before you know it, if you're doing these small goals and you're hitting 10, 15 pounds a month, or you're gaining 1 to 2 pounds a month if you're a guy, right? It becomes addicting. It becomes a confidence builder, and you really want to go out there and do these things. So I'm always going to recommend that to anybody who's starting any kind of goal, and even
set the micro goals.
Set the micro goals before you set set the macro goal first, but set those micro goals in between, and then forget about the macro goal.
You have them work backwards from the bigger goal. Set your bigger goal. This is what the big picture is.
Yeah.
But then what is it going to take to get to that big picture? Let's break it down step by step by step, and then use these micro goals to get to your macro. That's kind of how you...
And I think one of the biggest things that I've took away from when you and I talk, and one of the things that you say all the time, and I love it, and I give it to my clients all the time, is focus on the work, focus on the grind, don't focus on the goal. Because if you focus on the grind, the goal will come.
100%.
If you focus too much on the goal, then you're going to miss the grind.
100%.
And you're going to fuck it up somehow, some way, because you're too focused on this overall goal.
I call it going on autopilot. And what I mean by that is sometimes you get so focused into your fucking plan and your overall goal and shooting for those results that, like you said, you miss the shit that it takes to get there. So when you're on autopilot, you're just simply... all you see is your end goal, right? So you're I need to get to my end goal. You're not thinking, okay, I need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way up to your end goal.
Yep.
You're just thinking end goal, got to get there. So you look at your plan, you go to the gym, you hit your training, but are you really paying attention to your training, or are you just going through the motions because you're like, this is my training program, right?
Yeah.
Like you should be making every set, every rep, every second, every minute, everything count. Like you should be falling in love with the process, and as you fall in love with the process, the results will come. If you just fall in love with results and you're just like, that's all I'm going for, just you're overlooking everything, overshooting all of these little goals, just going straight to the end.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're gonna set yourself up for total failure because, like you said, you're gonna miss the grind, and the grind is what it takes to get to that goal.
And the grind has a lot of those confidence builders in it that you might not pay attention to. Like, oh, I PR'd in this, and you're not paying attention to it because all you give a shit about is this end goal.
Getting to the end of your workout because you have to have your workout.
Correct. You didn't know that, oh, when you started, you were benching 135, and then now it's fucking 12 weeks later and you're benching 225 pounds. But you don't give a shit about that because that wasn't your goal. Your goal was to do this, but you missed all those wonderful things during this process. And that's one thing that I want people to do.
Little things add up to big things.
100%.
Celebrate every single win, no matter how big or how small, because every win is a step towards the bigger process.
Correct. And that's exactly what it means when I say, like, focus on the micro and you'll get to the macro.
Boom. There you go, guys. Goals. Set the macro, work back, create the micro goals, and just make sure that you celebrate every single positive thing that happens during this journey.
Absolutely.
Every single
100%.
positive, celebrate it.
That's right.
Boom. On to the next kitchen talk.
That's a good one.